Hey fam, 'tis the season. I am noticing on Facebook, and I'm in education, so I can't help but notice, next week is graduation week in the next couple weeks for our area here. And I'm just going to talk a little bit about back when I was to go back in my graduation at Bay High. I looked a little different than a lot of my classmates as far as what I was wearing and everything. I didn't have all the medals, I didn't have all the ribbons, I didn't have, I wasn't jingling and jangling as I walked the stage. I didn't have a lot of the accolades. I was not a very motivated student. And high school was a bit of a struggle emotionally for me because of that. And so when I look back, it's not a time that I look back and say, man, I wish I could just go back. Just give me another, I'm not one of those that want to go back and, play football again or anything like that, or go back and go to that party or anything like that. High school was a time of really insecurity. It was not a time that I do want to go back. And so I'm talking to the person, not to the prom queen. I'm not talking to necessarily the captain of the football team or the most popular kid. I'm talking to the kid that says, man, I'm glad that's over. All right, because what you might hear a couple messages sometimes as far as graduation, sometimes you hear, man, these are the best days of your life, or man, it goes all downhill from here in the real world, blah blah blah. And adults, that's not a very encouraging message to kids 18, 19, 20-year-old who are trying to figure out who they are, who are going through a little bit of a crisis and a transition stage. And so I'm just here to tell you quickly that it gets better, much better as you get older. I'm 35. I still don't know what I want to be when I grow up, but after I graduated high school, I got a little more motivated. I became an honor student in college. I got a communication degree from Florida State. What's crazy about that is that I didn't even know what I was going to really do with it. You know what I did? I went and worked for a bank, which was great. And then I was a caretaker for my grandmother who had Alzheimer's after that. And this is in the midst of me getting married after college. And then I was in construction and got laid off from that job. All right. I was in my mid-20s with a beautiful wife and a newborn baby, laid off. Didn't have a clue what I was going to do. And then I remember Sharon Mahalik calling me up the day I got laid off. Look at God, right? The day I got laid off, Sharon Mahalik called me up and said, hey, got a teaching position open for you at Mosley High School. A math teaching position, which if you would have told me my senior year that I would be teaching math for 6 straight years at the high school level, I would have laughed at you, if not punched you. So that wasn't my vision. But you don't know what you're going to do. And so I did that, and I was able to coach football also in that process. And now I'm starting my own real estate business. And 10 years from now, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I know it's going to be exciting. It's going to be something totally different maybe than what I'm even doing now. And so I'm just here to tell you, with a wife and 3 beautiful baby boys and a beautiful wife too, and the world is wide open, these are the best times to live. Me, my 35-year-old self, is much more confident in who I am and much more proud of where I'm going to be 10 years from now, and hopeful than I was when I was 17 or 18 years old. You don't have it figured out, and that's okay, because I don't have it figured out. 45, I might not have it figured out, but I'll be becoming something greater than I am now, because it's the journey, guys. It's the journey. So I want to encourage those young high school graduates who may be feeling a little blank with their awards, who may be feeling a little underappreciated because they didn't have the social capital and the academic capital that some of the others had, maybe. And congratulations to those that did. That's great for those that were able to accomplish those things. But it gets better and better and better and better. And you're not going to look back and say, man, I wish I had gone back. I'd hate for you to peak out at high school. I hate that for people if they felt like they peaked out at high school, because there's so much more. It gets so much greater. It gets so much better. All right, it gets greater later. All right, love you guys. Peace out.